Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we're analyzing a critical issue where CS2 encounters a black screen after a clean Windows 11 installation and aggressive debloating. We at Teknobalta analyzed this case, specifically involving the Chris Titus debloat tool and the common MS-GamingOverlay error. The user reported that after applying system tweaks, CS2 would either show a very dark screen or a complete black screen. This often happens when the DWM, or Desktop Window Manager, fails to hand over the display buffer to the game engine. When you use debloat scripts, they often remove the Windows game bar and its associated dependencies. However, if the registry keys for the MS-GamingOverlay remain, the system tries to call a service that no longer exists. This results in a hang during the transition from the desktop resolution to the in-game resolution. Interestingly, the user also noted blurriness in other titles like League of Legends, which suggests a scaling conflict. Let's dive into the root cause analysis. The primary culprit is the mismatch between custom resolutions and the Windows 11 display stack. When you use a stretched resolution like 1280 by 960, the GPU must handle the scaling. If the debloat script disabled certain display enhancement services, the GPU driver might lose its custom timing parameters. Step 1. Preparation. Ensure you have the latest WHQL drivers installed for your GPU. WHQL stands for Windows Hardware Quality Labs, ensuring the driver is compatible with your specific Windows build. We must also verify the integrity of the game files within Steam to ensure no engine binaries were corrupted. Now, let's address the MS-GamingOverlay error. This is a common ghosting issue after debloating. To fix this, we need to tell Windows to stop looking for the game bar when a game launches. Navigate to Settings, then Gaming, and ensure Game Mode is actually on, even if the game bar is removed. Game Mode prioritizes CPU cycles for the game process, which can help bypass overlay-related hangs. If the error persists, we at Teknobalta recommend checking the registry editor. Go to HKEY Current User, Software, Microsoft, Windows, Current Version, Game Config Store. Set the value of GameDVR enabled to 0. This hard disables the recording overlay. Next, go to HKEY Local Machine, Software, Policies, Microsoft, Windows, and create a key named GameDVR. Inside that key, create a word value named Allow GameDVR and set it to 0. This technical adjustment prevents the system from attempting to hook the MS-GamingOverlay into CS2. Now, let's move to the main solution path, the custom resolution fix. The user discovered that recreating the 1280 by 960 resolution fixed the black screen. This is because recreating the resolution forces the GPU driver to re-register the EDID override in the registry. EDID stands for Extended Display Identification Data, which tells the GPU what the monitor can handle. Open your NVIDIA control panel or AMD software. Navigate to Change Resolution and select Customize. Even if the resolution exists, delete it and create a new one for 1280 by 960 at your monitor's max refresh rate. This refresh rate synchronization is vital. If CS2 tries to pull a refresh rate the monitor doesn't support at that resolution, you get a black screen. Once created, apply the resolution to ensure the handshake between the GPU and monitor is successful. Now, switch back to your native 1080p or 1440p desktop resolution. CS2 will now be able to call that custom resolution profile correctly from the GPU's internal database. Let's look at alternative methods. If you still see a black screen, we need to check scaling settings. In the NVIDIA control panel, go to Adjust Desktop Size and Position. Set scaling to full screen and, crucially, set Perform Scaling onto GPU. By choosing GPU scaling, you offload the work from the monitor's built-in scaler, which is often slower and prone to black screens. Check the box that says Override the scaling mode set by games and programs. This ensures that CS2 cannot force a display mode that the debloated Windows environment cannot handle. Another critical step is disabling full-screen optimizations for the CS2 executable. Navigate to the game's installation folder, right-click cs2.exe, and go to Properties. Under the Compatibility tab, check Disable Full-Screen Optimizations. Full-screen optimizations is a hybrid mode that allows the game to act like it's in borderless windowed mode while being full screen. In a deep-loaded system, the overlay hooks required for this mode are often missing, leading to the black screen you encountered. By disabling it, you force CS2 into an exclusive full-screen mode, which is more stable for custom resolutions. Now, let's discuss the Chris Titus Debloat script impact. While these scripts are excellent for performance, they can sometimes over-optimize by removing the VC redistributables or DirectX runtimes. We at Teknobalta recommend reinstalling the latest all-in-one Visual C++ redistributable package. This ensures that the game's engine has the necessary libraries to render the UI elements, which explains the blurriness in League of Legends. If the blurriness returns, it is likely due to Windows 11's MPO, or multiplane overlay feature. MPO can cause flickering or black screens when multiple overlays are active. You can use the official NVIDIA MPO disable tool to turn this off if the issues persist. Let's move to advanced optimization. Check your CS2 launch options in Steam. We recommend adding -vulkan as a test if the DirectX 11 path continues to fail. However, for most users, -fullscreen and -W1280-H960 are the standard for forcing resolution. Also, ensure your chipset and BIOS are updated, as the user correctly did. A BIOS update can improve PCI Express stability, which affects how the GPU communicates during mode switches. Let's summarize the technical fix. The black screen was a handshake failure caused by the removal of the game bar overlay services. By recreating the custom resolution, you refreshed the GPU's internal timing table, bypassing the broken Windows display calls. This is a perfect example of why manual resolution configuration is superior to relying on automatic system detection in tweaked environments. If you are using Windows 11 24H2, be aware that some debloat scripts are not yet fully optimized for this version's new kernel changes. Always keep a backup of your registry before running aggressive scripts like Chris Titus's tool. We at Teknobalta have seen many cases where a simple resolution refresh solves complex display hangs. Remember, stability should always come before extreme debloating. If the game still feels off, check your mouse polling rate as well, as high polling rates can sometimes stutter in debloated environments. We hope this technical breakdown helps you get back into the game with maximum performance and zero black screens. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more professional hardware and software troubleshooting. Stay technical, stay optimized. See you in the next one.